Digimon World 3 is my favorite game of all time. I originally played this game back when I was like 5 years old, but for whatever reason, my PS2 would never save, and every time I die, my save would just get deleted. A couple of months ago, I decided to emulate this game and play it again, just to revisit the old classics. And I actually beat it. Now, I know what you're thinking. This game looks like absolute dog shit. How did you even play this? Well, I can assure you, it is way more than that. This game is truly a masterpiece, and this isn't a meme. This game is brilliant. There are a few major problems, which I will discuss later, but this game holds a special place in my heart, and I'd love to talk about it and show to all of the wonderful people out there who have never heard of it. So, without further ado, let's get into the Digimon World 3 review. That sounds awesome, honestly. The basic premise of the story is this. You and your friends, Ivy and Teddy, go to this game store or whatever to play the new hottest game, Digimon Online. While there, the main objective is similar to that of Pokemon, to become the server champion, but something sinister is brewing as a terrorist organization called the AOA invades Digimon Online and locks it down, letting no one enter and no one leave. This is actually a pretty scary premise. This Digimon Online game is supposed to be a place of fun and entertainment, but is literally turned into a battleground as a terrorist organization enters the game. It's almost like getting locked inside a Chuck E. Cheese and not being able to get out, and there's like killers in there or something, or animatronics. A place turned from fun to horror is pretty much what I'm saying. However, you are not alone in this fight. Before entering the digital world, you were blessed with the option to choose 3 different Digimon packs containing 3 separate Digimon. Those packs include the Balanced Pack, the Powerful Pack, and finally, the Maniac Pack. On my initial playthrough, I chose the Maniac Pack and had recorded all said footage for the video, but it looked like dog shit because of the resolution. My second playthrough, I chose the Power Pack because fuck it! So after choosing your Digimon pack, you go into a machine that digitizes yourself, and then... Oh my god! Oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god, what is going on? Oh god, go there! Go, 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 go! Oh shit, what's going on? Holy go, go! Oh my god! Holy crap! Oh my god! Oh my god, what is this? What is this? Oh my god! Oh, what is that? What is fucking god? After that, you're officially in the digital world, and you end up at the Megami Center, which is the starting area, and where you actually get to see your Digimon right next to you, which is really cool. And this is before Pokemon, and especially before Pokemon Soul Silver, where you can actually watch them walk around with you, which is pretty dope. After exiting the Megami Center... Oh wait, hold up, this dude is approaching me? Oh, he wants to battle? Okay, but I'm just a rookie, I still haven't got my grasp of Digimon Online yet, but... After that though, the game pretty much opens itself up to you. The objective is to collect the 4 badges from the leaders of the Asuka server in Digimon Online. Go to Seiryu City. Absolutely trash the first leader there. After leaving Seiryu City, you are greeted by your friend, Teddy, who tells you about this hacker named Lucky Mouse, who is currently in Digimon Online. Suddenly, Digimon Online enters emergency maintenance mode and locks everyone out. Thinking it's the work of Lucky Mouse, Teddy leaves to try and go find him. You progress onwards towards the gondola station, but to get on, you need something called a blue card, and your character says he knows that a Guilmon has it in the city. And here is the game's first major setback. This damn quest with Guilmon is so ridiculous. He literally makes you go from point A, back to point B, back to the starting area, back to the freaking other side of the map. It's insanely ridiculous. And even when you find the Guilmon that gives you the card, it's a fake, which makes you backtrack back to the Guilmon that gave you the fake card originally to get the real card. This main quest of the story involves you heading to the front of your accessible map and then backtracking to the first town. And this isn't the only time this happens. The game makes you backtrack a lot, and it gets really annoying. So you finally obtain the blue card and head back to the train, and it works. You hop on and are greeted by this huge shithead named Bulbmon. Let's return to the story later and talk about the combat in this game. played Pokemon or any other RPG for that matter, this system should look familiar to you. Essentially, random enemy Digimon will approach you, leaving you to defend yourself with your chosen Digimon. While in combat, your Digimon can attack with a basic attack that does either magic damage or strength damage. They can also use something called techniques, which are powerful moves that consume MP. And as Digimon level up and get stronger, they learn better and more powerful tech. Along with getting stronger, Digimon gain Digivolutions. Digivolutions are alternative forms of Digimon that are usually stronger. While Digivolved, these forms can also learn tech as they level up and gain more Digivolutions and more tech, thus increasing the power. And if you want, you could also grind out Digivolutions and load techniques onto other Digivolutions. Just check out this Digivolution chart. This shit is wild. This is for one Digimon. Oh wait, hold up. Is that Burger King wargreymon? What the fuck?
We'll go for number 12.
Please stop.
And as far as Digivolution goes, pretty much every Digimon can turn into any other branch. It is a bit lame how there isn't any exclusivity when choosing a certain Digimon, like you could get a secret branch or something, but it also isn't. That way it kind of doesn't limit your choices to, say, if that was an overpowered Digimon with an exclusive Digivolution. I'd also take a minute right now to explain the Digivolution line of Digimon. Essentially, your Digimon will start off as a in training or in training 2. This is basically the baby Digimon. It goes from in training 1 to in training 2, and then after that it goes from rookie. Every Digimon in Digimon World 3 is rookie. That's the basic starting line. And then after that they go from champion, champion goes to ultimate, ultimate goes to mega, and then mega goes to ultra. And ultra's like the big granddaddies of everything. Ultras are the most powerful, but they are the hardest to get in the game for that reason. There's also something called Blast Digivolution. It's basically if you're getting your ass kicked by some bullshit encounter, this little bar right here, oh wait, it'll be right here. This little bar right here will fill up. And after a little while, once it fills, oh boy.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
What in oblivion is that? Yo! Yo, holy shit, he's dead!
It gets even better though. There are certain partner Digivolutions called DNA Digivolution. When combined, can do a special attack. And
Oh shit, here we go again.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
it kinda sucks. It's super niche and you'll rarely use it. I really only use it in the beginning stages and it costs way too much magic points to use. It's just so not worth it. Along with that, Digimon can also equip weapons and armor, thus increasing their combat potential. As you progress, you gain new armors, new Digivolutions, new techniques, really broadening the progression system, as you gain so many things by leveling up and just progressing and grinding. However, the grind for this game is pretty crazy. You'll need to grind for some of these encounters. You'll think you can take them on, only for them to almost one-shot your entire team. If you die, you get sent back to the save point, which is pretty brutal, as there isn't many save points in the game. You see this little robot and this cat? Thank the heavens, because these guys are the only saving grace in your whole run. The little Catmon guy will actually heal your Digimon at a price, of course, and the robot will actually save your game for you. And thankfully, saving actually worked on the emulator and not my PS2, so I was actually able to play this game. And as far as catching Digimon, there is none of that. Instead, you have about 8 partners to choose from, with your original choice containing 3 of said partners. You are able to scour out and find these DRI agents, who will ask you to find and fight the ultimate forms of your requested Digimon. In return, they will give you said partner, and these agents are found all throughout the game. However, there is a certain level cap that all 3 or 1 of your combined Digimon must be under to obtain or start the quest, so be mindful of that. Lastly, there's the gyms. The gyms are kind of like a slot machine. When your Digimon level up, they gain something called TP, aka training points. These can be used at gyms to gain additional stat points through training. You get this cool little animation of your Digimon either winning or failing at the training. If they win, they get the stat change or the stat upgrade. If they lose, they don't get anything.
So let's delve back into the story and skip over some of the tedious parts. Where we last left off, we were fighting Bulbmon. He's pretty tough to beat as he does major water and machine damage, so train those tolerances respectively in your Digimons. After a bunch of damage, he'll simply roll away.
Autobots, roll out!
When you beat him, you unfortunately don't get any EXP, but the gondola works, and you can now proceed to South Sector. We're gonna skip a little bit in South Sector because there's a bunch of stupid shit you had to do here, so let's just get to the fun part.
So the world is pretty much on fire. People are shitting and crying, and your Digimon are kicking everyone's ass looking for answers. Players of Digimon Online flock to Asuka City's administration center looking for answers. And because you're locked out like the rest of the people, you head there as well.
The admin comes out and addresses the public, saying that this matrix chamber device needs to be fixed.
They head back inside, but you feel like something is off. So you do a bunch of bullshit and then get inside using this Agumon suit, where the guards think you are a Digimon. You actually uncover that the AOA, the group that was mentioned in the beginning, is behind the whole thing. They find out that you're in this Agumon suit and swiftly kick you out. But you don't take that shit lying down. You head back in there, start kicking ass once more. You find this little shithead named Vmon, you kick his ass, and head to the boss's chamber, where they're talking to this giant asshole on a screen. 3 bodyguards confront you. They're gone. Then you confront the admin herself, and she's got some bullshit rolled up her sleeve. Take out her first 2 Digimon. They're chumps anyways. However, her last Digimon, Persiamon, is a whole nother problem. This Digimon, Persiamon, has a move that can actually de-digivolve your Digimon in battle and completely decimate them when their stats are low. I'll be honest, I died a few times in this fight. It is pretty freaking hard. After beating her, she spills her guts. Now with the AOA's plan revealed, and you and your friends rescued, you devise a solution to stop the AOA before they inevitably destroy the world. Our next goal is to take out these AOA chiefs and obtain their badges. That way, we can progress into the AOA strongholds and dismantle their ranks one by one,
which are on the other map.
The maps of Digimon Online are split into 2 servers, Asuka server and Amaterasu. Asuka server is the starting server, and the main server that you've been seeing behind me, whereas Amaterasu is kind of like the endgame server. The problem with both servers is that they're literally carbon copies of each other. Same routes with different NPC placements and different Digimon encounters. And also a color palette change and some different objects in the background. The main issue is going between both of them because the fast travel in this game is pretty time consuming. Oh my god. I almost forgot to mention fast travel. So midway through the game, you get this thing called the Digi-Egg of Sincerity. This little sucker allows you to summon Submeramon, who will actually allow you to progress to other areas of the game through the ocean, on these little platforms where there's ocean surrounded by it or a water source.
There's also another Digimon that aids you called Digimon. It's the same thing as before with Submeramon, except you have to find this other egg called the Digi-Egg of Knowledge. And my god, using Digimon for fast travel is a nightmare. The circuit board is a complete maze. And there's also this annoyance with trying to find which platform will take you between both servers, Asuka and Amaterasu. Sometimes you'll end up in Asuka when you need to be in Amaterasu for the main mission.
Now, you may be asking yourself, Salty, how do you know so much about this game, and why are you so good looking? Come on, stop it. The answer is primarily Google, and introducing the Digimon World 3 guidebook. This puppy is jam-packed with information pertaining to the game. Motion charts, maps, guides on how to complete certain parts of the story, and tips on side quests. This thing is pretty epic, and I got it for a steal for
$328.
It even comes with a poster, which I'm going to frame because it's pretty fucking dope. Although some things are a bit lacking, I would have loved a picture of all the mons on the introductory page, not just a few pictures. It's still really cool though. Although, the maps in the back, holy fuck. What am I looking at right here? This shit looks like the work of a serial killer rather than a guidebook writer. But yeah, there's still a lot of cool stuff in here, and I actually used it to help get through a tricky part in this game. Anyways, back to what I was saying. After defeating the second AOA chief, you get access to the Digi-Egg of Knowledge, which allows you to dig into these little holes that you've been seeing around the map, thus allowing you to proceed to North Sector. Upon some exploration, you find Genbu City, the last city that was actually able to defend itself from the AOA. You must confront the leader in order to get his badge to return to the real world. And holy shit, this guy is tough. On my first go around, I actually died to him.
But this time, I prepared. I grinded a bit, and I also have both my mons to full blast meters. Let's fucking do this.
Okay, I just got completely trashed. After you beat him, you now have to proceed to the dungeon, wherein you must defeat these 3 leaders of Digimon Online to use the emergency access chamber to get into the real world, because the AOA infiltrated this military base in real life using the Digimon from Digimon Online. So you have to go into the military base and stop the AOA from launching this battleship called the Juggernaut, which turns out you're too late because that little bitch Venmon from earlier actually fuses with the battleship, comes Destromon, and starts fucking killing people.
Man, that was a lot. Now the only thing you can do is head to Amaterasu City and try to get past the Nightmon that'll actually end your whole run if you don't have the last AOA leader's badge. And I'm not joking either. These guys will lock you into a battle where you can't damage them and you can't run away from them, leaving you to suffer as you watch all of your mons perish. This is so ass. If only you could run away from this fight, but you literally can't. So pro tip, save before setting foot near Amaterasu City. You may be asking yourself, how do I get into Amaterasu City? Well, it's pretty simple. Remember that Genbu leader who absolutely trashed me? Well, you have to go to the Amaterasu's counterpart's leader in good old Zuanwu City. I definitely said that wrong. I would also like to mention that there's an actual typo I just noticed while editing the video. The characters say Zuanwu City, not Zuanwu City. At least that's how I pronounce it, because it's spelled with an A instead of an E in the overworld in text. Which has been taken over by the AOA, so basically taking out another AOA leader.
So I was about to complete the 4th task, which is to grab the last badge at Zuwan City. Right up until... Yep, not a very pleasing sight to say the least. For some reason my save was deleted. I had no idea how. I simply just restarted my computer. As I said before in the past, I was running this on emulation. It was running a bit chalky for some reason, so I just restarted my PC while the emulator was still open. And I opened the game up to no saves at all, and the game's still running like crap. I used actually a save state on the one run. It was just one save state, and it was just for one thing to see if I could take down a certain boss. And I did that when all my mons were like level 20, and had about 19 hours in the game. And my last save, all my mons were level 40, and I had 40 hours in the game. All hope was pretty much lost for the video.
Or was it? I had 3 other save states. One, I was just about to beat the game, and the second one, I was battling the second to last boss. But the third one, I was in the middle of a fight before the final boss fight. I chose the third option because I knew in my last save that my team was super weak. So I trained them up, made them insanely strong, and there's something special in there for you, so just wait. But first, let me catch you up to speed on the story.
After nabbing the badges in Amaterasu's server, you finally get access to the city. You head into the Amaterasu City Service Center and obliterate everybody in there, although I have no footage of that since my save was deleted. Go into their headquarters and confront the main man himself, President Megami. This man's got some tough mods, and this is literally where my save state was, in the midst of the fight with my Vmon at the time, who was blasted into BK Wargrey, and his last mon, Raidenmon. Fucking Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Can actually restore health and charge up for an attack at the same time, so it's imperative that you take him out as quickly as possible. After he's taken care of, you capture the president of Digimon Online and interrogate him. All seems well, you should finally be able to leave Digimon Online after taking out the president, right? Nah, it's not that simple. Everybody is still an Oinkmon.
And I also forgot to mention that everybody in Amaterasu server is turned into Oinkmon because the AOA, and then you have to actually turn them back from Oinkmon into people, and that was the main objective, along with getting the badges, top them. Yeah.
So, that's the next objective, is to turn everybody back from Oinkmon to people. After a bit of screwing around, you ask this giant bastard, Airdramon in Asuka City, which has literally been there the entire game and did nothing up until this point, so that's great. You ask him to blow some air to some windmills to Asuka City, and he does.
This powers the machine that turns everyone from Oinkmon back into humans. I would also like to add that this area that Airdramon resides in, this Gale Tower, has one of, if not the creepiest soundtracks in the entire game. Take a listen.
Doing so, everybody is now saved and now people, and they're thankful to be alive and whatever for like 5 seconds. Literally after 5 seconds, everybody's turned back into Oinkmon after going back from Amaterasu to Asuka server's main service center. You then meet this guy, Lord Megadeath, real leader of the AOA. He's turning everybody into pigs so that he can rule the world, essentially, in a peopleless, pigless, or pigful world, I guess. He tells you his grand plan. So get ready for this. He's gonna use this spaceship called the Gunslinger, and on this said spaceship there's a cannon that he's going to use to blast the actual world, like the real world in Digimon Online. He's gonna use it to blast the whole world and turn everybody into the pigs in Digimon Online, and then he'll rule the world. So you gotta stop him. But after you board the Gunslinger, there is no going back. From here on out, there are no save points, no rest points, nothing. So if you die, it's back to the last save point with Guardromon. Knowing this, you board anyway. Up here, there are some super tough Digimon, and 5 boss fights in a row. There isn't any grinding unless you brought health items, so good luck with that. You navigate the Gunslinger, which is almost like the Ice Dungeon puzzle, but a lot larger in size. After making your way through these midpoints on the Gunslinger, you confront these sub-bosses, which are these robot guys who have Digimon of their own. You take them out, and then you can proceed to the next level. After about 2 or 3 of these guys, you finally reach the final sub-boss, I should say, which is Armageddonmon, which is actually the Digimon you see in the starting movie. The starting cutscene. So that's pretty cool, but he's pretty easy, so no big deal. You make your way through and confront Lord Megadeath, who you do battle with because you got nothing better to do. His Digimon are insanely tough. Fujinmon, Sujinmon, and Raishinmon all look badass and dish out incredible amounts of damage. Especially Sujinmon, the pink one, who can literally do 4 attacks in a row.
And introducing
And probably the most overpowered Digimon in this game, to be honest.
Imperial Digimon Paladin Mode!
After you beat him, he says he's going to be the world's strongest tamer after combining 4 of those Venmon from earlier into Snatchmon, which is the second stage of Venmon's evolution.
I also just love Snatchmon's reaction. He's just like,
Who the fuck is this nigga, bro?
So yeah, after that, Snatchmon literally fucking murders Lord Megadeth. He then wants to fight you. And if you lose, he will actually merge with the Earth and become something called Gaiamon. I'd also like to mention, because I did this a while back, this script was made a while back, that this is literally the only mention of Gaiamon in the whole Digimon series. And so yeah, that's actually pretty funny, because it sounds like a really cool Digimon, and I don't know. After Snatchmon's whole spiel, he then literally merges with the ship Gunslinger, and then becomes the final boss, Galactamon. I'll let this FMV play out for you. And this bastard, Galactamon, is tough. He does not screw around. In his first phase, he'll do physical damage and magic damage, so beef up both defenses, cause it's pretty random on which move he's gonna use. And you also gotta love that PNG of Galactamon in the background. It's so funny, he's so small, and it's actually kind of fucking adorable. So then after you beat his, this guy, the game ends. Just kidding. You didn't think it'd be that easy, would you? He actually has 2 other phases. After you beat the tail phase, he actually initiates this Ragnarok cannon stage, which, no joke, will down your Digimon to 1 health regardless of defense. And then the 3rd phase begins. If you've actually used any technical moves against him, you're kind of screwed. He will actually learn said move and use it against you. And depending on your weaknesses of your Digimon, he'll be able to sweep your whole team like he almost did with me. So big tip here, don't use any technical moves against him unless you're using like a special move, which is like the animation, special animation move, or boosting moves.
the guidebook actually says the same thing. It even calls the second phase a real nightmare.
Oh, and did I mention that he can actually counter your moves? The way I beat him is by strengthening my Imperial Digimon Paladin mode by using Gallantmon's Mega Strength and then using Impact Rush on Imperial Digimon Paladin mode, which actually attacks like 3 times and dealt like 4,000 damage. Pretty crazy. After absolutely trashing Galactamon, he falls to Earth, burning up in the atmosphere or whatever, and the world is saved and everybody is back to normal. And that was the final encounter of the game. Pretty crazy. We continue our hero's journey 3 months later, and what is basically a repeated cutscene from the beginning of the game. I'm pretty sure if I literally match up both cutscenes, they're exactly the same, including with all the noises and everything. The downfall of the AOA, where our characters are right now. Yeah, they have a dispute and then go right back to Digimon Online, which is pretty crazy with everything they've been through. And that's everything. That's the entire game of Digimon Online's, or God, not Digimon Online, Digimon World 3's story. It's pretty crazy, to say the least. A very wild experience for Digimon World 3, but nonetheless an adventure. There are a lot of problems though, but also a lot of positives, which I will get into right now. One of the positives I can give this game is the combat. The combat is very fun, insanely challenging at times, and awesome to play around with. One tactic that's very interesting is the field system. Your Digimon can summon or use these field items to boost certain elemental techniques' damage, and the boost damage is actually pretty crazy. Another cool aspect I found to combat are the boost moves. When used in battle, these raise the stats of the Digimon in battle or for the whole party. And finally we get to the boss fights. The boss fights in this game are sometimes insanely ridiculous. There are bosses that'll one-shot you, bosses that'll restore their health when they're really low, and they have infinite magic points so they can keep on spamming their health restores. And some have really cheap moves, like Raidenmon, that'll actually charge up HP and also boost his damage for the next turn. This may seem cheap, but it does add some complexity to the combat because it does make you think about what your next move is going to be and how you will approach this encounter. Lastly, there are the loadable techniques, which allow Digimon to use magic moves from past Digivolutions. This is really cool because you can actually use, say, boosting moves and do the field moves from other Digivolutions onto other Digimon. Now this may be a hot take here, but I think the Digimon in this game do look pretty cool. Now, hear me out.
Wait till you see the. No. Look at the top of his head.
Some do look bad. A lot of the models do look pretty good, along with a lot of the animations. The special animation moves are awesome. They're fully animated, and all of them I'm pretty sure are unique. There aren't any copycats. Even with BK Wargrey and Wargreymon, there are a bit differences in them, but they are actually different animations, which is really cool. Although some animations are lazy, like the shockwave animations. A lot of them are really cool, how your Digimon will actually hop over to the enemy Digimon and like bonk them or something. One of my favorite animations has to be Garbagemon. He literally throws his trash lid on his head and fires his bazooka, which is hilarious. And I didn't even know that was a bazooka. I thought that was like a pipe or something until he freaking did the animation, which is hilarious. Along with that too, the training animations for like the gyms and all. They're very fun and cute to watch at sometimes, but it's very frustrating when you lose because you don't get the stat upgrade. And also follow Digimon. This was way before Pokemon Soul Silver, where you actually got to walk around with your Digimon, or your Pokemon in Pokemon Soul Silver. But in Digimon, you get to walk around with your Digimon all the time, even 3 partners at a time, which is really cool. The next point I'd like to discuss is Digimon World 3's soundtrack. And wow, I have never heard a better score in my entire life. It is so atmospheric. It really feels like you're in a completely different world with actual Digimon. Some of the sounds in this game, they don't even sound like real animals. Like for the soundtrack, it's nuts. The track you're listening to right now is the Protocol Forest track, and it is insane how deep this track is. It's so eerie, but yet so relaxing in a way. It really does feel like you're surrounded by bugs and spiders and these cries of these Digimon or animals that perhaps got stuck in these webs, or these spiders who are feeding off of the other Digimon. It's just insane. I can't really describe it.
Another absolutely stellar track is the Ether Jungle. It's probably one of, if not my favorite tracks in the entire game. It's just, like, what is going on in the background? Is it, like, a mother, like, Digimon calling to her young? A hungry predator roaring in the background? Or simply just banter between 3 Digimon or 3 animals? It's just insane. So I may have lied a little bit on that last one in saying that Ether Jungle was my favorite. Well, I do have a lot of favorites. I feel like Plug Cape takes the cake. Because when I was younger and I would play this game, I would really make it to Plug Cape and die. Because you have to grind a little bit to actually survive in this area. And just the soundtrack, when I was a kid, it kind of just disturbed me a little bit. I don't know why. It's just a very odd, just scenic, but also like barren emptiness. I don't know what it is about it. It's just a really beautiful track, I feel. I think one of the reasons for this is just the juxtapose from this happy music to this ambience. You know, a great example is Plug Cape. When you first start the game, you are in Asuka City, which has this very uplifting and nice like beat to it. And then afterwards, after you venture off into Plug Cape, you get this ambient, weird, like relaxing but also unnerving sound. It's very jarring, but it's also pretty interesting when you think about it. And over time, I've grown to love this track, and every time I listen to it, it gives me huge nostalgia for when I used to play this game as a kid. And it's also just super relaxing in general. And lastly, there's the Mirage Tower. I feel like this song perfectly encapsulates what it's going for. When you first get to the Mirage Tower, it's a base for the resistance from the AOA, and it just perfectly encapsulates that feeling, I feel. Along with the other songs, they're all pretty much downright bangers. I've been using them all throughout the video, pretty much, and I've only used one other track from another video game, and if you can find it, I'll actually pin your comment below, so happy hunting. But the one track I cannot stand is the AOA theme. I hate the AOA theme. It comes up way too much, it's overused way too many times, and it's just awful. Along with the soundtrack, the basic sounds in this game are phenomenal. The old bassy sound of the rockets or gunfire from your Digimon special moves are so fun to hear, and are honestly a bit terrifying to hear when it's a stronger Mon using one of those moves. And what is a soundtrack without a good setting? And let me tell you, some of the settings in this game are just downright whack. Like, for Wire Forest, of course, there's a bunch of wires running around, but there's also number pads and these giant oil tankers for some reason. And it's so odd, and it's honestly kind of cool and enjoyable because it really does feel like you are in another world, like you're going on an adventure. And there's also the Digimon card game, where there's a whole other game inside this game. Although I don't have much footage of it because I didn't play it much because it is a huge whole side quest, it is still interesting that there is another thing to do besides just Digimon battling. Like, in the side quest, you collect different cards, build this giant deck, and fight progressively stronger card opponents. Also, the NPC interactions are actually pretty cool. They will actually change their dialogue depending on what's going on in the story. Even the Digimon have a say in what's going on, though often they'll just say that they want to play with you or something, which is pretty adorable. And that's about all I've got to say for the positives. Now let's get into the negatives. First off is backtracking. My god, this game makes you backtrack so much. It's ridiculous how much this game makes you backtrack. Heading back and forth to a Amaterasu server to a Asuka server, it gets very tiring and tedious just heading back to these servers for mere seconds just to continue the main story. It's excessive how much this game makes you backtrack. The grinding in this game is also a negative in some regards. The game fundamentally does require you to grind. There's no simplified way around it. It's just good old-fashioned grinding. Because for some of these encounters, they are ridiculously hard, and you need to be like on their level or a little bit under it just to have a chance of even facing them. A major negative is Asuka server and Amaterasu server. They're literally just the same exact thing. I just wish we could have something new because of the map of Digimon World 3. The map is so interesting, Asuka server is such a joy to explore, along with the soundtrack, and get some new tracks in there, because there are a lot of repeating tracks from Asuka and Amaterasu, so some new tracks, some new set pieces, a new area to explore would have been a lot better than just to literally copy and paste Asuka to Amaterasu. Now this could be a bit of a divisive opinion, but the training minigame, I feel, personally is negative. While it sounds good on paper, the fact that it's RNG is ridiculous. For a majority of the game, you'll want to get as strong as possible, and the one thing that could keep you from that is this little minigame, which is a gamble at times. For example, if your Digimon fails at the strength minigame, he's not going to get that strength boost, and that could severely hurt you in this in encounters to come. It'd be cool if there was a way to influence this minigame. That way it's not the game's fault if the player loses stat gain, but the player themselves. And lastly, there's the endgame. In the Japanese and PAL versions of Digimon World 3, you can actually continue your adventure after the credits roll, and actually face the new leaders in the Amaterasu server. But for the US versions of the game, we unfortunately don't have this luxury, which sucks, and I wish they had added it into the game just to flesh it out a bit more and add some new content. That'd been cool.
So, in the end, Digimon World 3 isn't a bad game, nor is it a really good one. Though I will say that it is an enjoyable one. It's a game I played as a child, but finished as a man. It is not for the faint of heart, believe me. Both combat and navigating wise, a lot of backtracking and grinding. Through it all though, I enjoyed the game. I still loved and had a ton of fun playing this game. And like everything in life, it's not going to be perfect. So, an easy 7 out of 10 game, but not a 7 out of 10 to fool around with. Pick it up for free, or buy a copy, or do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But if you do, you won't be disappointed. Or you probably will, because it's a grinding mess. Maybe in the first half, but you'll love the game probably. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Salty Cool Kid here. I'm back. I haven't uploaded in a while because I was working on this video that you see before you. Totally not reading off the script here. It was an absolute blast to make. This was insanely fun. I love this type of video with the green screen. It's a ton of fun. I can't wait to actually start editing this beast. It's gonna be a huge video, but it's gonna be insanely cool. I was able to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, Digimon World 3. I hope this video makes you look at, maybe try it out. I don't know. It's up to you. Maybe you look at Digimon in a new light. I don't know. I am working on some other reviews on other games, but I'm going to try to make some small stuff in between to just get something out for all you guys. So, yeah. So don't worry. You'll get your Salty Cool Kid 101 fix. So, yeah, that's about it. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. What else is on here? Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on my socials. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Follow me on Odyssey. Join the Discord. Bunch of cool people in there already. And yeah, thank you so much if you watched this video from start to finish. It's really cool. I hope to see you all in the next video. It's probably going to be about another Digimon game, because Digimon games are fucking awesome. Alright, I will see you guys later. Have a good one.
Doc, how could you create a new outro? Doc, could you create a new outro for my channel? Salty Cool Kid with a $5 donation. It's going to cost you a lot of money.